I'm going to start my playlist now. And you guys can start yours so that we're at the same place. And I want to start today in a seated meditation. So just come to a cross-legged seat. Place the hands on the thighs and sit with a tall spine. Begin to notice where your breath is at today. First, observing. Maybe you were rushing to class. Maybe you were working before this. So just notice the quality of the breath. And let's take one deep breath together. Inhale. Exhale. And I want to do some box breathing. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. I'll guide you through a couple and then leave you to do it on your own for a couple. So exhale all the air out. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And do a couple rounds on your own. And you can release the breath counts after you finish your last round. And then I just want you to bring your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your right and take 2 deep inhales and exhales. And release the hands down, blink the eyes open. Mina, you want to do yoga today? And we're going to make our way to a tabletop position. Don't kick your pets. And once you're here, just take some standard cat-cows. So inhale, look forward, drop the belly, but engage the abs. And exhale, reverse, arching the back. Try to go really slowly. Feel every part of the movement. And then come back to center. I want you to lift up your right heel towards the sky. So my right foot is flexed and my leg is bent at about 90 degrees. And just take a few little lifts here, like you want to kick the ceiling. Notice if the belly is sort of spilling out here, try to keep it engaged. press into the hands to stabilize in the shoulders. Extend the crown of the head towards the front of your space. Just doing little pulses here. And then I want you to open up the knee. So like you're a dog peeing on a hydrant. And do little lifts from here. The foot is still flexed. Doesn't have to be a lot of motion, just working into that hip socket. And return the foot back to the original position with the foot facing towards the sky. And then extend the leg and bend. Extend, bend. Check the integrity in the rest of your body. Just caught my shoulders drooping and my hips off to one side. And then keep going like that. And on your last bend, stay at an extended position and option to reach your left arm forward. And then let's touch the elbow and the knee together. So inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch in. 3 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. And drop the hands back to the ground or coming back to our tabletop. Take 2 cat-cows. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to neutral. Let's do that all on the other side. So lift up that left leg into sort of a donkey kick. Take your little pulses, pressing the heel up towards the ceiling, and find that integrity in the rest of the body. Feel the breath, feel the music, feel the body. And then turn that knee out. Pee on the hydrant. Just little lifts here. Notice where you feel the heat. I feel mine in the acetabulum, where that femur bone is fitting into the hip. And return the knee back and do your kicks. Extend and bend. Extend, bend. And at your next extend, leave it there. Reach the right arm forward. Take those crunches in. Exhale in. Inhale, extend. About 5 more. Two. 1. Release down. 2 more cat-cows. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, arch the back. And walk yourself forward onto the forearms. Set the hips down onto the right side. And extend your right arm long. Rest your right ear onto your right arm. Bend the knees at about 90 degrees. Plant your left hand down and open up the legs, close them. So you're kind of doing a little clam shell situation here. Bring your hips into posterior tilt. So those two front ACES hip points are pointing towards the face. It's going to keep your body a bit more stable on the ground here. And you can also create more resistance in your legs. You can just open and close sort of naturally, or you can imagine that you're pressing something open or lifting something with your top leg. 5 more like this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to kick out the leg, bring it back in, close, open, kick, close, open, kick, down, close, open. 3 more, kick, down, close, open, kick, down, close, open, and close. Great job. Let's flip ourselves over onto the other side. Do so gently, please. Lay that left arm out long. Place your left ear onto the arm. And open those legs up for clam shell. Check the integrity in the spine and in the hips. I like to have my right hand planted on the ground for stability. And next time you open up the legs, let's kick out. Bring it down, close, open, kick, down, close, open, kick, down, close, open, kick, down, close, open. 3 more, kick, down, close, open, kick, down, close. Whew. Can slap out the bum if you need to. And make your way all the way back to that tabletop position. From here, I would like you to come down onto the forearms, tuck the toes, and press up into a forearm plank. We're just going to do some dips here. So drop the right hip, left, right, left. Again, try to press into the hands and the forearms, creating stability in the shoulders. Got about 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. You can press back into a dolphin for a little bit of relief for a moment. So it's like down dog, but from the forearms. Maybe pedal out the legs if that feels good for you. Shake out the hips a little bit. And then return back to your forearm plank. And bring in the left knee towards the left elbow, then set it back down. Right knee, set it down. And you can also do this from the knees. Few more. Oh, this is hard. All right, set the knees down. Come back to a quick child's pose. Open up the knees wide. Let's take 5 breaths. Bring yourself forward. Tuck the toes, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And walk those feet up towards the hands. Come to your forward fold. Grab onto the elbows, swing back and forth. Really drop the head. And then release the hands. Roll yourself up really slowly. Take a couple shoulder rolls. Maybe wiggle out the hips. And we're going to do some really fun choreography. It is yoga based with a little bit of dance element, and we'll just build on it. So should be pretty easy to grasp onto. And have your blocks nearby. Inhale the arms up and overhead and take a steeple grip. So that means the fingers are interlaced, but the pointer fingers are up and the thumbs are together. And then lean over to the right for a side bend. Come back up. Lean over to the left for a side bend. Come back up. Release the steeple grip, but arms are still overhead. I want you to lift up your left knee and drop your left elbow. Touch them. Step the left foot back and swing that left arm back as well. Hold on to that left thigh. Look up towards the sky, up towards the right hand for Exalted Warrior. And then swing that left arm up. Bring the gaze forward, Crescent Pose. Bend into the left knee. Step your way back up to the top of your mat. Lift up the left knee. Place it into a tree pose. So you don't have to use your arms here. You can just place it at the calf. Just don't place it on the knee. And then drop the hands, drop the foot, shake it out. Let's do it on the other side, and then we're gonna add on. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Interlace those fingers for steeple grip. Reach over to the right. Center. Left. Center. Arms just straight overhead. Lift the right knee. Touch it with the right elbow. Step the right foot back. Right arm goes back and down, holding onto the thigh. Look up towards the hand, the left hand. And then swing that right arm forward, Crescent Pose. Step yourself forward. Come to your tree on the right side. And then drop that right foot, shake it out. So let's do it again and add on. Arms go overhead, steeple grip. Reach over to the right. Center. Left. Center. Release the grip. Left knee, left elbow. Step the left foot back. Left arm touches left thigh. Look up. Both arms overhead, crescent. Drop the left knee. Grab onto your blocks if you have them, or just bring the fingertips to the floor, that's fine too. If you need to pad your knee here, you can by folding over your mat. We're gonna stay in this lunge for 2 breaths. And then bring the hands back a little bit. Sit back into the hips. Take a hamstring stretch or half split. And then on your breath, I want you to inhale, come to your lunge, open up the heart. Exhale, hips draw back. Foot flexes toward the face, hamstring. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hamstring. A few more like this. Find a flow with the music and with your breath. And then land back into your lunge. Take one more breath here. Really roll the shoulders back. And then step your hands a little bit forward of your right foot. Tuck your left toes and launch into your half split. So you can totally have your fingertips on the ground here. Try to drop the head towards the ground. Square the hips towards the mat. And just lift that left leg as high as you can. You can bend into the right knee if you need to. And really slowly, try to come up on one leg without setting down the left leg. And then place that left foot on the calf for your tree pose. Hands to heart center. Set the foot down. Great job. We'll do it on the other side. Inhale, arms overhead, steeple grip. Reach to the right. Center. Left. Center. Right knee, right elbow. Step back. Exalted warrior. Crescent. And then set that right knee down, pad if you need to. Come to your lunge. Open the heart. Look forward. Press back, hamstring stretch. And then find your flow on your breath. Couple more rounds like this. Bend into the left knee, come back to your lunge. Walk those hands a little bit forward of the left foot, tuck the right toes, bend into that knee and launch yourself into half split. Bend in the right leg, come up really slowly, transition to your tree pose. Release. And now that you've got that rhythm in you, let's do that one more time on each side a little bit faster. Inhale, arms overhead. Reach to the right. Center. Left. Center. Left knee, left elbow. Step back to your exalted warrior. Crescent. Left knee comes down. Right hands find the mat or blocks. Lunge, inhale. Exhale, hamstring. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hamstring. Inhale, lunge. Tuck left toes. Come forward into your half split. Slowly come up and find your tree. Release. Last time, other side. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, reach to the right. Center. Left. Center. Arms release. Right knee, right elbow. Step back, exalted warrior. Crescent. Low lunge. Hamstring. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split. Last one, inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split. Lunge, tuck right toes. Walk the hands forward. Standing split. Bring that right leg through. Find your tree pose. Inhale. Exhale. Release the foot. Shake it out. All right. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Lift left elbow to left knee. Step the left foot back. And this time, swing that arm open into a T shape and drop the left heel to the ground so you're coming to warrior two. Check your alignment here. Knee is centered over that ankle. Hips are trying to open up to the side. Tuck that tailbone underneath you. Gaze over the front fingertips. Drop your right elbow to the right knee or right fingertips to the ground, and left arm reaches up towards the sky. You can look towards the side wall or look up to the hand if it feels okay on the neck. Come all the way back up. Flip the front palm, reach up and over, reverse warrior. And then straighten that front leg so you're in a reverse triangle. Bring the arms back to a T shape. Reach forward and down for triangle. You can take a micro bend into your right knee. Wrap your left hip back. And then come back up, arms to T. Rotate your feet so they're facing the long edge of your mat. Interlace the fingers behind the back, or you can also just grab onto the elbows or even just place the hands on the hips and press the elbows back, and that will still get you a nice chest expansion. And then hinge the hips forward, come to your wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Tanasana. You can keep the arms up here, or you can bring them down to the ground. Now I want you to slightly turn out the toes and bring the heels in. Bend in the knees. Roll yourself all the way up to your goddess squat or horse squat. Take some bounces here. Just feel the opening into the groin. Just feel into whatever you are feeling right now, what sensations are happening. Option to bring the arms out wide. Now I want you to lift your right heel and keep bouncing. And switch to your left. Drop, back on flat feet. You can stay here or lift both heels. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten out the legs. Rotate those right toes to face the front. You're back in your warrior two, bend into the right knee. Cartwheel the arms down to frame your right foot. Step the right foot back. Press back to downward dog. 3 breaths. Walk yourself all the way to the front of your mat. Let's take an inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And roll yourself all the way up. We're going to do that all on the other side. Lift the arms up and overhead on an inhale. Bring the right knee to right elbow. Step the right foot back. Open up to your warrior two. Find your alignment here. And when you're ready, you can bring that left hand down to the ground or left elbow to the knee. Side angle pose. You can really press your arm into your knee. Get a really good opening. And extend the top of the head. Come back up, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reach up and over, reverse warrior. Straighten out the front leg. Arms come back to T, reach forward and down. Triangle pose. You can take a micro bend in the front knee and wrap your right hip open. Chest wants to face the side wall. Imagine like you're between 2 panes of glass. And come all the way back up. Rotate the feet so they're facing the long edge of your mat. And just come all the way down for a really nice juicy stretch. You can stay with whatever feels good for you here. Sometimes to get a bit of a deeper stretch, I like to reach my hands behind my feet, fingertips pointing behind me, and play a game where only my knees or my arms can be bent at the same time. So my knees are bent, my arms are straight, and then switch them. Wherever you're at, find your breath. And bend in the knees, roll yourself all the way up. Rotate your left toes, come back to your warrior two. And then bring the hands down to frame the left foot. Step the foot back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. You can always take a child's pose here if you need a little rest. Good. Walk the feet up to the hands. We're going to do that once more on each side a little bit faster. And then we're moving to our grounded section. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Roll yourself all the way up. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Left knee to left elbow. Step the left foot back. Open up warrior two. Right arm goes down to the ground or up to the knee and side angle pose. Warrior two. Straighten the right leg, reach forward, up and over. Reverse warrior, reverse triangle. Arms back to a T, reach forward and down, triangle pose. And we're gonna skip that wide-legged fold, so come back to your warrior two. Cartwheel the arms down. Step the right foot back, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Walk the feet up towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Roll yourself all the way up. And last time, inhale, arms up and overhead. Right knee, right elbow. Step back to warrior two. Find your side angle pose. And back to warrior two. Reverse warrior. And straighten the leg, reverse triangle. Arms come to neutral and forward for triangle pose. And then bend back into the left knee. Cartwheel the arms down. Step the left foot back. Downward dog, inhale. Exhale. Drop the knees to the ground. Bring the body forward. Plant the forearms down onto the mat. Rest the hips down. We're in a Sphinx pose. So you can keep the elbows right underneath the shoulders, or if you need a little bit more space for back crunching, you can walk the hands forward. But wherever you're at, press into the hands and try to pull the heart through. Also keep that core engaged to protect the low back from crunching. You can really press that pubic bone into the ground. And release the arms. Plant the hands right next to the shoulders. Press yourself up to a tabletop position. And press back to your downward facing dog just for a moment as a transition pose. Lift up the right leg to the sky. Bend in the knee, bring the knee to nose, and step your right foot back to that low lunge position. We're gonna hold this for a little bit longer. So I have my left knee set down on the mat. If you want a more active version, you can tuck the left toes and straighten the left leg. If you have really open hips, try to create some stability by engaging muscles. And if your hips are quite tight, try to breathe into them and sink down. We're gonna stay here for about 5 more breaths. And straighten that right leg, walk the hands back, come to your half split, stay here for 10 breaths. If this is too intense, you can take a slight bend into the right leg, or you can also plant the right foot onto the ground instead of having the toes flexing back towards the face. So just find something that you'll be able to hold for this minute. And bend back into that knee. Let's walk the right foot out to the side, so right toes are hanging off the mat, left heel is on the mat. And bring the hands to the inside of that right foot. You can keep them up on the blocks, you can keep them flat onto the mat, or you can come down onto the forearms. Try to drop the shoulders away from the ears and send all your breath to your hips. Relax any muscles that you don't need here. And walk those hands a little bit farther ahead of you. Tuck your left toes, and then try to scoop up your right foot and just set your right knee down next to your right wrist crease. So we're moving to Pigeon Pose. You can walk those left toes back. Options to stay up on the hands, come down onto the forearms. If you have a block handy and you're done on your forearms, I love resting my forehead onto a block and sort of massaging that third eye area. You can begin to walk yourself up. Press into the hands, tuck the left toes, step the right foot back, come to your down dog for a couple breaths, and really wiggle out the hips here. Check into the sensation in the hips and just notice if one feels different than the other. And lift up those left legs, bend into the knee, step the foot through, come to your low lunge. Sink into the hips, or if you have open hips, create that stability. And press the hips back for your half split. You can walk the hands back a bit. Bend into the leg. Walk the foot out so left toes are hanging off the mat. Hands come to the inside of your left foot. Lizard pose. Find whatever level feels good on this side. And walk those hands a little bit forward, tuck the right toes, lift up the left knee, and rotate it to come into your pigeon pose. Get yourself even so one hip isn't hiking up over the other, and find your cozy spot for the left side. You've got about 2 more breaths on this side. And begin to bring yourself up. You can plant the hands, tuck the toes, and step back. Downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly walk the feet up towards the hands and place them to the outsides of the mat. Heels are on, toes are off. Sit back into your Malasana Yogi squat. You can be up here if it's more comfortable, down here. Knees press into the elbows and elbows press into the knees. And then I want you to extend your arms forward. Sit your butt back and land in your boat pose. Three more breaths here. Try to open up the heart. And then set down the feet. Scoot yourself back. Extend the legs forward. Untuck the tush from underneath you. Inhale, sit up really tall. And exhale, fold forward. Keep those toes flexing towards the face. Feet should be even, so the pinky toe is about the same distance from your face as the big toe. And inhale, straight spine. Exhale, chin comes a little closer to the legs. If you need a bend in the knees, that's totally great. And then relax the legs, relax the spine forward. Restorative forward fold. I like to rest the backs of my hands onto my mat here. Just really feeling surrender. Notice how changing this to the restorative version by relaxing the muscles changes the stretch. Mine shifted from being more in the legs and the hips to being more in the spine and neck. Roll yourself all the way up and plant the feet onto the ground. Roll yourself all the way down to your supine. Let's lift both legs up to the sky. You can stay here or hike up the hips. Place the hands below the bum and walk the elbows in a little bit. Just letting the blood rush the opposite direction. Try to stay active in the legs with flexed, pointed, or flointed feet. Three more breaths. And then you can drop those feet behind you, interlace the fingers, press them into the mat. And you can straighten the legs or keep them bent and give yourself a little massage around the temples. Be really careful on the neck here. Definitely don't want to turn side to side at all in these positions. And just roll your spine down, release the hands. Extend the left leg forward. Hold in the right knee. Place it over to the left side and open that right arm up into a cactus or goalpost shape so the elbow's at 90 degrees. Take 2 deep breaths. Roll yourself back to center. Switch out the legs. Bring that left knee over to the right. Left arm opens, cactus shape. And roll yourself back to center. If you want to take any last stretches before coming to Shavasana, please feel free to do so. If you're ready for your Shavasana, just extend the arms by the side, let the feet fall open. You can place blocks or a cushion under the knees if you want to relieve some pressure from the low back. I like to lift up my left shoulder, tuck it under, lift up the right, tuck it under, creating space in the neck. And just take this time to integrate your physical, mental, emotional practice into your system. Feel the body getting heavier and heavier with each breath. And send your breath into any pockets of tension that you find anywhere in the body, from the face down through the torso, the legs, or the toes, or the hands. Now I'll leave you here for a few moments of silence before we end in our final meditation. Begin to wiggle into the toes and the fingers. Perhaps take a nice good morning stretch overhead. And find your way in whatever you like to a seated meditation position. Be very gentle and mindful. Perhaps roll over onto one side. And I'll meet you here in your seat. Let's face the palms up towards the sky. It's a symbol of surrender. Sit up really tall. Ground those sits bones into the earth. See your breath moving up and down your spine as you sit. And I'd like you to bring to mind a time that you've experienced that has challenged you. Once you have that in mind, I want you to feel into what came of that challenge, how you came out on the other side, and what you learned about yourself and your inner world. And finally, how is it that you sustained or continue to sustain those lessons learned, those challenges faced, the increased amount of self love or self care from that experience? How do you sustain that today? Bring the hands to your heart center. Take an inhale. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today. Such a beautiful expression of self love. Bring your hands up to your third eye and take a bow forward. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide your body in this practice.